Hey guys, Chris here, and bonus footage. We have some more polls for you. I'm here with my brother MD, and we're gonna go through the polls on his account. So, what are you looking for? Are you gonna do Agrius banner, delete a banner? What are you thinking?
Well, let's take a look at the units on my free account. This account is set up pretty well in terms of having a tank to put in the front with Engelbert, and then I have some good attackers to put behind him with Frederica and Lucia, as well as Medina. What I'm missing is another attacking unit to put on the front line, so I'm going to be looking for Delita on this account.
So the one thing you showed me when we first looked at this is I saw that you had that Ramza, and I was like, hey, you need to make sure you max him out. So what are you thinking in terms of the amount of Vizor you need to save up for the second part of this event? Because I know there's a lot of people out there probably in a very similar situation where they have like a limit break 3 Ramza or Orlando and they really want to spend on this first banner.
Well, in terms of that, if I'm going to save enough Vizor to max Ramza, we're looking at needing about 320 Ramza unit shards. That's going to equal about 14,000 Vizor.
Right, because you get the 40 free from the shop. But here's the other thing. What if you get to that point where you're right on that borderline and you haven't got Delita yet, but you're on that borderline of like, well, if I pull Delita now, I could just max him instead of Ramza. Like, what are you going to do there?
Well, perhaps that'll be something that we'll address as we pull. All right, so let's just jump right into the banner for Delita. Pull number 1. Silver Book. There's a chance.
Vision card, though.
I always feel discouraged when I see the vision card surrounded with all blue around it. See if we can get any upgrades here. Any upgrades. What would be the best vision card, would you think, to pair with a potential Delita?
The Moraga card, very good. You get slash attack there. It's pretty good for all of the Final Fantasy Tactics units, actually. Is that Moraga card? Hey!
Red Chocobo.
Limited, and actually there's an Esper that comes with that, so that's actually a really valuable pull. You want to pull that card.
Alright, got 20% on the pity gauge. Let's go for pull number 2. Come on, Delita. Silver Book. Hopefully not a vision card. Very good, there we go. We're gonna need an upgrade. See what we come up with here, all surrounded by blue. An upgrade.
Solir. You actually didn't have Solir yet, huh?
Not on this free account, I didn't.
As I said on my tier list, Solir, one of the best MRs, so I think anytime you pull Solir, it's a great pull. Curry, not so much.
Curry, not great.
But you did get another 20% on that pity gauge. Now, you might hit that pity gauge. You're already, because of your Ramza situation, you're already in that point where if you have to pull Delita, like right now, if you're trying to max them both during this event.
All right, well, let's see. Pull number 3. Silver Book. And a unit card.
Get an upgrade. Nope.
Need it as we go through. Well, we have 4 gold. 4 chances for upgrade here.
Yep, a lot of upgrade chances. Azure Spheres as well, if you happen to be short on those. No upgrades from those, so you gotta... Ryu's a good MR to pull, though.
No upgrade there, but it is Mustadio.
Well, you have the triple gunner threat now.
Which puts this account in an interesting place. Do I keep pulling or do I not keep pulling?
Well, you know what I would do if it were me, and this is a good advice to all those free-to-play people out there, because I know that's a lot of the people that follow our account. If you're not looking to spend on Final Fantasy Tactics, I would stop right now, because you're in a position where you could max out both Mustadio and Ramza during this event, and come out of the event with 2 max Final Fantasy Tactics units and be looking really good, in my opinion.
Well, I do really want to have that attacking unit, however, because even maxing Ramza out Delita's going to be a much better attacking unit than Ramza.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, and you're at 60% on the pity gauge, so it kind of just... You could either try and go for that pity or go for Delita. I mean, this is obviously the tough situations that we all go through when you're pulling on these banners.
True. Let's go ahead and do a poll number 4. Silver Book.
So, at this point, you would rather pull Delita, and if you don't pull him, you would rather not pull a UR to get to that pity, right? Because that means you're spending less overall Vizure.
True. We do have 5 opportunities for upgrade here.
A lot of gold opportunities to upgrade. Hopefully you can get one to upgrade.
Hopefully.
And again, I'll say it again. I still don't believe those blue crystals can upgrade. I don't care what people say out there or what I read on Reddit.
All right, so none of the vision cards upgraded, and that's really okay with me. I'd much rather let one of the unit ones upgrade to an ultra rare instead of a vision card. No upgrade there, and Lilith's pretty worthless.
She's actually pretty good for an MR, but...
And no upgrade there.
Not top tier MRs either, so you did get further on that pity gauge. So you're at 80% of the pity gauge. You're pretty much committed to hitting that pity draw at this point.
True, let's go ahead and take number 5.
No.
Brown Book. Never a good sign.
Well, I mean, if you watched my polls, you never know.
Very true. Very true. One opportunity for an upgrade on a unit card. We already know the pity is the one at the top.
See, every time I see one of the blue upgrades, I'm like hoping I'll just see the rainbow so that I can believe it. Give it a little rest. Season it a little bit.
All right, well, this was not the upgrade. Nasha's not terrible, but for a mega rare, but obviously wasn't what I had hoped.
Well, you're gonna get guaranteed an ultra rare here, so what that means is you're really wanting 2 or 3 ultra rares, if you're being greedy on this pull, because you know that top unit's gonna upgrade.
All right, so ultra rare guaranteed on this pull. Silver Book. Yeah, no gold books.
Vision card. Hopefully that's not I think that the guaranteed ultra rare is always in that slot though. I think you're gonna have. Oh, look at all those vision cards. It's obviously gonna be a vision card.
Well, we had an upgrade to a vision card
so
here.
You have 2.
And this is good. The House Beolv is a very good one to have. I already had that on this account, so I'm building it.
Yeah, very good pull there. It's obviously not Delita. I don't. Yeah, there's no way you can get Delita here. But this last vision card should upgrade, if I remember how this works. Oh, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't. But Red Chocobo, which you saw in a previous poll, so that'll help build that a little bit.
Yeah, I think overall, not very successful pulls, I would say, to be honest. And are you going to stop here, though? Or are you going to just take the 2 more pulls? And then if you pull Delita in the next 2 pulls, you still can max him out. Or do you stop here and max out Ramza and Mustadio?
That's a really good question. And again, that's what a lot of people face. What would your advice be on this account not having a top tier attacking unit?
I mean, I think you have to stop here and just go with what you have. And you could probably run Ramza as a magic tank because he's actually okay in that role if you really wanted to.
Well, all right. Well, that's probably what I am going to do on this account is commit to maxing out Ramza at this point. Through the Final Fantasy Tactics events.
Okay, well, do you want to check out your other account?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to the other account.
All right, let's check that out.
Okay, now on to my main account. You're going to see with my units, this account already has some good attackers, including Orlando in here. It does not have a good tank unit yet, so I'm going to be looking to pull Agrius on this account.
And I see your Orlando's there already 89 out of 99. He's not 299 yet. So you're about 55 shards short. So you're looking at probably about 3,000 or so investment there too to max him out.
All right. so I'll make sure to leave about 3,000 left. You can see that I obviously only have about 20,000 Visor on this account. So the polls that I'm going to be able to perform are quite limited.
So we talked about this strategy in the other video that we talked about which unit should you pull for. And if you have 20,000 or less, you can do this strategy where you're kind of pulling for Mustadio, and if you happen to pull Agrius or Delita, then you can get them to limit break 3 or 4 right out of the gate, which isn't too bad, and then you could max them out the next time it comes around, or you might be, you could spend a little bit of money too and max them out too.
All right, well, let's go with that strategy on this account and pull on the Agrius banner. See if we can't get lucky. Pull number 1. Gotta hate seeing these silver and brown books so constantly, but there's some hope with a unit shard. Perhaps it'll upgrade when we get there. Couple of chances here.
Man, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not even sure what a lot of the... Well...
So here's the Mustadio that we were just mentioning.
Yep.
And so at this point, if we're not able to pull an Agrius or Delita, is it worth just stopping here with just Mustadio?
I wouldn't say you should stop. I mean, if you're committed to going for... You might pull another Mustadio right here. No. I wouldn't say you should stop yet, because I think if you're committed to trying to get Agrius, go for it. The second part of this event, a lot of people don't realize this, is you have these login bonuses coming in. You have more Visor coming in, at least 500 a day, 500 to 700 coming in a day. So you have a little bit more than what your bank shows.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do a second poll then.
I mean, I'm rooting for you, obviously. Everybody needs to have a Final Fantasy Tactics unit on their roster.
All right, well, we're getting another silver book unit. So surrounded by a bunch of blue, which never a good sign. This did upgrade to a mega rare. Who is it? Pretty terrible. Mariluk.
I had a comment on my tier video that talked about Mariluk being rated so low, and I don't understand it. I don't really get it. Whoever that was, comment on this video and tell me why you think Mariluk is a top tier MR character.
Well, let's go ahead and see do we get the lucky upgrade here. Nope. And Durando.
Yeah, that's not... You're obviously looking for either Mustadio dupe or other MRs, or... Durando's awful. I just think he's awful.
Definitely not worth your time to build that character.
Yeah, so how committed are you going to be if you're, looking to get to this pity pull here?
Well, let's go ahead and do one more pull, see what happens here, and then address the Visor situation and the fact that we did pull Mustadio. Now, this is a gold book.
Yeah, unit. No, vision card.
A vision card.
But hey, as we've learned, you can get the Scion card, you can get the Reed Flute. Those would both be good pulls. I mean, those would both be successful pulls for 2000.
Surrounded by a bunch of blue. So,
of course.
We're probably not going to get an upgrade to an ultra rare from a blue. So it's looking like Agrius or Delita is out of the question on this particular pull.
Yeah, and you're just hoping for the limited vision card here. Or an Esper you don't have, I guess, would be really good for you.
All right, let's check out what it is.
Diablos. Now, you have Stern leveled up on this account.
Yes, I do.
Diablos is a really, really good card for dark units, especially Stern and Gapgarian. So I actually think that's a pretty good pull.
All right. So Diablos is going to be a pretty good pull in terms of a vision card. It's going to be beneficial to this account for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ever complain when you get a new Esper, an ultra rare.
True. Now, this is an interesting point on this account and how to move forward with it. The pity gauge did not go up because we pulled an ultra rare. We're at 14,000 Visor.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to max out Mustadio, you have to stop now because you already know you're committing 3,000 to Orlando.
But how worth it would you say is maxing out Mustadio, considering this account already has a lot of really good attackers. It already does have Lucia as a ranged gunner.
Yeah, I mean, Mustadio's different. I mean, he's not a damage dealer. His main kit is based on status effects, so you're using Disable, Immobilize, and Blind. And that's basically his entire purpose. He's not going to be a top-tier gunner damage dealer like Frederica or Lucia. So It's sort of, I mean, I could see him being more advantageous for maybe PvE content, but he's certainly not going to make his way into top tier PvE teams, probably.
Well, I'm personally thinking that, I mean, this account needs a tank so badly. And Agrius is probably the unit to have if you're building the best tank in the game at this point.
Oh, Warrior Light's a much better tank, and I still think Engelbert runs as a much better tank. Agrius, as I've said before, and I've advised people, you don't want to run her as a primary tank, because you want to run her as a Holy Knight sub if you do get her. You don't want to run that Paladin sub, which is the only way she generates hate. So for me personally, I see her as more of a unit you can throw Vow of Love on to draw an attack or two, but I don't see her as a primary tank. She's more of a bruiser unit. But I think you could go one more pull here and still safely be able to max out both Mustadio and Orlando and maybe get Agrius.
All right, well, let's do that then. Let's go ahead and give one more pull on this account and see what happens.
And of course, we're making a video. You have to spend all your Visuur. Like, that's what all the YouTubers do, right?
Well, Silverbook, we obviously, there's a chance that it could upgrade.
There is a chance.
Let's see if any of these blues upgrade to anything useful in the Mega Rare category. So far, no. Doesn't look like it. So, here is going to be our chance to upgrade to an Ultra Rare unit. And it did.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me. I'm not going to look.
All right, so let's just hope this isn't a worthless Ultra Rare unit, and let's hope that this is Agrius or Delita. Lucia, which I already have maxed.
Yeah, you don't want to pull a unit you already have maxed. Not in my opinion.
That was quite a worthless for this account, considering my Lucia's already maxed out. That was quite a worthless Ultra Rare.
It is unfortunate, yeah.
And it didn't get our pity gauge up any further.
Yeah, and I think my opinion is you got to stop here. You got to just roll with Mustadio and Orlando. It's up to you.
And just kind of give up on Agrius, huh?
I think with 12,000 left in the bank, it's a pipe dream at this point. I see all these Reddit threads and you see comments where people spend 50, 60, 70, 90,000 and they don't get the unit you want. And this is one of my primary strategies as a free-to-play player. I always talk about this. You have to have a cutoff point. You cannot go below a certain level of Visuur and just because you're chasing the unit. Because even if you pulled her at this point, you aren't going to be able to get her to level 99, probably not 89. And how useful is she going to be to you at 79? I mean, she'll still be a good unit, but she's not going to be top tier at 79.
Certainly, she's not going to be usable at 79, and even arguably not at 89. To be honest, on this account, she's not going to really even be usable.
I mean, she definitely... I mean, it's tough, but I don't even think you could get her to 89 at this point. That's why you got to have that cutoff point, like I had to with the Orlando banner, and like I know that I had to on the Kilfay banner, also on my other account. So you're definitely going to get in these banners where you try and pull on stuff, and you haven't really even spent that much, but people spend 20, 30, 40, 50 trying to chase one unit. I think once you go 20, 25,000 deep, you need to just forget about that banner and move on, especially if you're free to play or just a light spender.
Yeah, so at this point, I do think it is wise to go ahead and stop and focus on maxing Orlando and go ahead with Mustadio.
Yeah, and I think the thing people need to keep in mind, it's good to keep some Visuur in the bank here too, because there's another collaboration banner that's coming out in a couple months, and that's Final Fantasy IV. So Cecil, Kain, and Rosa, that's an awesome banner to want to pull on. Don't drain your entire coffers here if you actually want to have anything for that banner as well.
Yep, I think that's going to be the strategy here. Go ahead and I'm going to start saving Visuur for the next couple of months on this account and go ahead and pull on Cecil, Rosa, and Kain. So this has been MD with my brother Chris doing some pulls on Final Fantasy Tactics. We'll catch you next time.